Hi guys, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters. So for this beautiful little creation, I am using the More Than Words Cocoa Vanilla collection, and I am doing a bit of a hanging tag concept or idea with this one. So I'm just starting up by doing a really basic, simple mixed media background, just so it's not sitting on plain white. So I used the squirt of the coral Heidi Shine, and then I am flicking some teal Heidi Shine, just trying to pick some colours that complement the colours in the More Than Words collection, or the section of the More Than Words collection I'm using. I'm not using the entire collection for this, but bits and pieces. And then a little bit of black. I've had black and navy for a little while, and I've been really scared to use it. I find that I tend to use gold, and and I also am a little bit scared of the darker colours, but I'm slowly coming to really appreciate what a few splats of the darker colour can look like. And especially because the navy looks quite dark in the bottle but doesn't dry quite so dark, which is quite nice. So then, of course, a little bit of gold. So I pop that aside to dry. And then, as I said, I'm doing a little bit of a tag display idea here. I did previously get all the supplies I wanted in order. So it's a really quick layout because I've already fussed and fiddled with what I want where. I did that with the help of my small child, help in inverted commas, but I didn't try and glue anything down or anything like that because I knew little man was not going to be impressed with actually having to stay still and not touch things for when I'm sticking things down. He was happy to help and fiddle and look, but yes, that was the extent of it. So if you're wondering how I've just so easily reached to the side and got everything I need, it's because I already have that planned and organised. So I created these tags myself. I just fussy cut them out of paper. I didn't use a punch or anything. Some I just guessed size. Some I measured, copied off an existing tag. And some are just bits of paper. They're not actually tag shapes. They don't have the sort of corners at the top. They're just rectangles. So this first tag is going to be my title tag. So I've used 2 bits of More Than Words collection. I have used a cut apart heart and a label. And then I've also used the More Than Words ephemera pack with the 2 little tag beautiful sweetheart, and Corbett Creations love heart, acrylic love heart. Then the stickers, which unfortunately stuck really well. Unfortunately, they stuck really, really, really well. So I started putting this down, the word this, and then realised, I didn't move it far enough to the side. But you can't take it back. Once these were down, they were staying down. So it's supposed to say this is, and it does say this is, but you can't really read the is. It gets a bit lost. But those stickers are the Maggie Holmes. Crepe Paper is obviously the company that makes those. Carousel. Maggie Holmes Carousel. So it says this is, and then I've got the beautiful thickers. This is Happy, and they are the Hello Joy American Craft thickers. So that is the first tag. The second tag is a photo tag. I backed all the photos on white card first, initially, just because I like them to stand out a little bit. And then I actually dug into my stash with this one and pulled out a little bit of Pink Paisley collection. So that Sweet Life card I have been holding on to for ages because I was finding it really hard to use. It's quite large and I wasn't sure where to put it or how to use it. So it's actually formed a layer behind the photo. The photo's been popped up on foam dots. And then I've got a beautiful More Than Words flower. And I was going to put this chipboard butterfly on, but I realised that first tag had quite a large gap. It was missing something. So I popped that flower onto there, but then needed to dig through my stash to find something else to go on this photograph, and went with the chipboard love heart instead, and another of the Corbett Creation acrylic hearts, which is super cute. Those acrylic love hearts were actually Katie's. Katie has given me some of her stash of the More Than Words collection to help fill out mine a little bit. And they're mostly the things that she didn't quite use. Maybe they didn't grab her attention as much or didn't fit with the layout she was using as perfectly. And they tend to be the things that she might have found a bit harder to use and things like that as well. So I know these acrylic love hearts she finds a bit tricky to use, not from the look of them. They're gorgeous, but they're quite fat, they're quite thick, but I really love them, so you always use them. Then moving on to card number 3. Sorry, got distracted. So again, I dug into the Pink Paisley collection for that black and gold tag. Again, it had just been one that had been hanging around. It was really hard to use. It's such a large one and such a harsh, dark colour. But I felt that fitted in because I had the black on that first tag, and then my son and the lady in the photograph are both wearing darker clothes at the bottom half. It sort of helped tie that in, which was really cute. I then just cut a little rectangle of another More Than Words paper and put a little saying, "You are so beautiful to me," and then a few little bits and bobs out of the ephemera pack. Then the last tag, sorry, I'm just getting a bit behind, so I'm trying to hurry up. Again, Pink Paisley collection for a layer there. These I've been holding on to for forever. I know I've said that already, but I was really struggling to use such big pieces of ephemera, so I'm really quite excited to have popped those out of my stash, and they just fit so seamlessly into the collection here. You don't notice that they didn't already go, which is awesome. So very dear to my heart. I wasn't really sure how I was ever going to use that, so I just popped it as another layer in behind underneath the photo. And then, of course, another acrylic heart, because I don't know if you've noticed now, but there's an acrylic heart on all 4 of the tags. Wow, fancy that. So they're technically done. In hindsight, it would have been better to do them straight onto the page, because I then have a lot of trouble fitting them onto the size of a 12 by 12 piece of paper. But the paper's still not dry from spraying the Heidi Shine, and I don't want to stop, and I don't want to wait. I could go and get a hairdryer or something, but I just keep plugging along with my tags. So I am using my springy hole punch thingy, and as you can see, it's not 100% working as efficiently as it usually does. Usually I just do one big bang and it puts a hole in it, and there we go. But today it's being a bit of a pain. But I get there eventually, and I'm just putting a little bow at the top of the tags because I think that that's a really sweet way to tie the tags off. And I do that with all 4 of them. Now, from now on, it's just the time of day. I haven't stopped recording or anything like that. There was I did edit some of it out, but I didn't come back, earlier or later or anything like that. It is just as the day has moved on, the sun has moved, and unfortunately we're in a really bad timing because the shadowing over from now on is especially bad. So I do apologize for the shadowing. It hasn't been amazing the whole video, but it's now getting into the especially bad last sort of 5 minutes. So I apologize for that. And hopefully it's not too annoying or frustrating for you following on and watching at home. So I have punched my holes in and tied my little bows. This last one was obviously going to be a bit tricky because I've put embellishment over top of exactly where a hole would go. So I actually end up stabbing my scissors through from the back because I don't want the hole to go through the embellishment cluster. I want it to be behind the embellishment cluster, and then just squeeze the ribbon or the thread through the hole and tie the bow in underneath the embellishment cluster. I hope that makes sense. You can sort of see me right down in the bottom. I realised as I was tying the bows that I'm pulling them too close to my body for you to be able to see. So here I am trying to work out how to layer these onto the paper now that it's mostly dry. And wouldn't it be nice if I had like a 12 by 13 inch sheet of paper? Just need that tiny bit more. Unfortunately, no. So they do have to be quite close together. The word happy is causing me a few problems because it sticks out so much. We definitely make it. We definitely get there. It still looks cute, but they are a lot more cramped than I would have originally liked. But them's the breaks, kids, when you don't go straight down onto the page. What can you do? So I'm sticking them down. I'm not overthinking this. This is how I want it to look, so away we go. I'm trying to keep them as placed as I can because I know it was quite challenging to get the placement correct, so I don't want them to wriggle too much. And as you can already start to see as I stick them down, 90% of that mixed media is now gone, which I always knew would happen. I just wanted a little bit of something behind the tag so they weren't just stuck straight onto stark white. Sometimes I love stark white. As you know, I do a lot of backgrounds that always, like pretty much 99% of my layouts start on white paper, but this time I just wanted it not to be quite so stark. So I actually did one more little embellishment cluster on this that you will see in this close-up in about 10 seconds. Here it comes right about now, and I had to edit that out because you couldn't see a thing. I was doing the cluster and I wasn't in focus, in frame at all. So I apologize for completely not showing you how I did that, but I'm sure you can work it out just by having a look at how the cluster looks. So here is the layout. I am super happy with it. I think it is so sweet and it's such a nice way to include more than one photo on a layer. I hope you like it. Maybe this will inspire you to give a go. Thanks guys. Stay tuned for more coming up soon and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.